Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Reese number 934C is what this is. This is a piece of angle style weather stripping. It's a bristle type weather stripping. And first glance, initial reaction is that this is a very high quality piece of material. Why I say that is because when you run your hand over the bristle, it feels like the material is very dense. Not the individual bristles as much as the quantity of them. So it feels like when you grab it and you run it over your hand, it feels incredibly durable. Okay, where would you use angle style? Well, an angle style like this, I would say that you're going to use on a door, a man door, a swinging single-acting man door. Now, generally, you're going to see an angle-style weather strip used in overhead doors or maybe roll-up doors, where this material will be applied to the jamb, and the face of the bristle will make contact with the face of the door. And if you study a residential overhead door installation, the garage door, you're going to see exactly an angle style. It'll be probably a textured aluminum finish to match the paint color of the door and the jambs, and a vinyl strip, but it'll be an angle, and that will be on the jambs and at the header. Occasionally you'll see it on the bottom rail of the bottom section of the sectional overhead door itself, but for sure always at the header, because at the bottom you'll usually see a rubber feature that when that door closes it will compress the rubber. It won't be an angle bristle at the bottom, but it has been seen to be installed there as well. Even had it installed in instances where, if you really get into studying overhead doors, on the inside of the garage, let's say the door is closed, the top rail, that's a weak point as well. I've had people install this material like this so that when the door opens it basically rides back and away, but when it closes it'll make contact with the header. Okay, so which one to use, what size, what's your application? If it's a door, go with something smaller, because the door is simply just going to, this will be attached to the jamb and your door is going to make contact and just make contact with the back side of the bristle. Just close it off. Sometimes better than meeting it on head-on like you would in a neoprene, silicone, vinyl, polyurethane installation. You might want an angle because you might have a jamb, or a frame that's installed and one jamb leg is towed or it's kicked out. So the door literally, compared to the face of the jamb, may literally come off this way because it's not plumb. So you can use, because of the reach of the bristle, this feature to it to be able to mitigate a problem like that. The door still closes, but you can't rip the jamb out. It's set. It's not plumb. You've determined that, so you got a little skew. Your door goes askew of the jamb. You might be able to use an angle bristle to solve that problem. There is a link below this video, there's an image below this video showing the dimensional properties. You basically have 3/4 inch worth of aluminum. You've got an overall of about 1 1/8 inches. A total projection, you can judge that on the camera, right at about 7/8 of an inch. This is the C finish, 934C. That means clear anodized aluminum, as you can see, and this is obviously just a sample piece. There is a link below this video to a document called Product Brochure that will allow you to review the 934 against the other Reese's other sister products when it comes to bristle. Bristle is really nice because, especially in door sweeps, why? You're a restaurant owner. What is the inspector looking for? Daylight underneath that door. You've got a pitted concrete sill. Not a lot you can do with that. However, with a bristle, what happens when I use my fingers to emulate a pitted concrete worn sill? It contours itself nice around it, doesn't it? The density of the Reese bristle is so great that it really just fills in those areas between my fingers and does so really splendidly. Okay? If you can't tell that I'm a fan of Reese, then you're not watching the right video. I'm a big fan of Reese. The density of the bristles, the color, the clear aluminum is really nice. That product brochure also shows you the other colors this is available in, and that would be the D finish for dark bronze. Let's start over. A for mill aluminum, C for clear anodized, D for dark bronze, and G for gold anodized. If you want the least expensive one, you want the mill finish, the A finish. But if you want one that looks nice, you want clear, or you want dark bronze, or perhaps the gold anodized finish. So bristle's really helpful, and there's even an image there showing how it's installed in an angle application on the bottom of page 2. There's also a link to the installation instructions for your review. Basically measure, cut to length, install. Now if this was the genuine article, speaking of installation, this would come with slotted holes. The slotted holes are there to help account for the actual condition of the door and the frame that it's in, given the nature or the propensity for it to not be square or plumb. Being able to drill that hole, and then also with the slotted hole, account for a misdrilled hole if you've not used a center punch. A drill bit has a tendency to walk a little bit before it pierces in. If this was the genuine article, you'd have a slotted hole about 3 or 4 inches from the end, and then every center to so many inches center to center. In general, a 7-foot piece would have 8 holes. Whatever the quantity of holes, generally the quantity of feet, there's generally 1 more hole given the quantity of feet. That's generally how it works. Would come with screws as well. Now, if you have need for a custom length, and this is listed in the website in lots of different lengths, everything from 2 foot to 8 foot. If you have need for a custom length, let us know. Order the next longest piece or pieces and simply indicate in the comment field the length you'd like for us to cut the material back to. And the reasoning is it will save you the trouble of cutting it and drilling that slotted hole. And again, that slotted hole is handy. But also, what you may not be aware, you've got 3 different base materials here. Aluminum, nylon, steel. That holder that you can kind of see right there, that's steel. You don't want to run that through your chop saw with your 70-tooth carbide blade. That steel is cut with heavy-duty shears when it creates the bristle. It folds it over, so to speak, to give you bristle, and then it's slid in, and it doesn't slide out very easy, and you don't want it to. You could probably specify to send the holder and the bristle insert separately so that you could trim it all and then slide it in. You will want to crimp it over a little bit just to prevent any creeping of the material out of the aluminum holder. And it's in there by design, okay? It's in there by design so it doesn't come out. The hallmark of bristle, as I'd said earlier, contouring to an irregular surface, specifically in an angle application, is good. However, bristle is incredibly flexible at extreme temperatures above and below 0. Will give you an excellent way to mitigate problems that other weather stripping cannot. And really the irregular floor surfaces where I like bristle the most. But again, if you're a restaurant guy and the inspector is saying there's daylight, which means critters can get in, you want to stop the daylight and therefore the critters. That's the logic that they use to determine your compliance with code, and that would be the same logic I think you should use as well to determine your compliance with common sense of HVAC costs. Here in southern Florida, in August, I can put my hand right on the outside of the door, closed door, and I can feel the air-conditioned air against the palm of my hand. Okay. You want to weather strip every time you can. Reese is a great option. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Reese products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Any questions on the Reese 934 and a C finish, or any other Reese product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.